How's it? Dr. Rudy here. You'd be amazed how many men come into my surgery asking for Rohypnol. Of course, I'm very reluctant to sign these prescriptions, since the media has stigmatized so-called date rape drugs. A man can get into a lot of trouble for giving a woman a good night's sleep. So I advise my patients against Rohypnol, because there are things that you can get over the counter that are just as good. I'm talking about cocktails. Right here, I've got a Long Island iced tea. Triple sec sour mix, vodka, tequila, rum, gin, and just enough Coca-Cola to make it taste harmless. If the average 60-kilo woman drinks 2 of these, she'll be flat on her back within the hour. Sure, they cost $15 each, but $30 is still cheaper than even the most rudimentary service offered by a prostitute. So don't skimp. It's a false economy. You see, the results speak for themselves, and technically, I've done nothing illegal. Just make sure you park close to the bar. It's hard work carrying a dead weight. Bye now.
I can't believe it. I can't believe you won't let me go. Everyone else is allowed to go, but I'm not allowed to go. You're the worst parents ever. I hate you. I wish I was adopted.
As door slamming and yelling become everyday communication in your home, or his adoption wishes crushing your parental esteem, well, don't worry. Dr. Rudy is here with more timely advice for all you perturbed parents whose little angel has fallen along with his testicles and turned into a teenage devil. There is a way to teach your child how to respect your feelings. When he next tries emotional blackmail by wishing he was adopted, just tell him he is.
I wish I was adopted.
You are.
This shock admission is sure to get his attention. Then continue by telling him that since things obviously aren't working out, you'd appreciate it if he could start looking for his biological parents now. If the child remains skeptical about your confession, prepare an old shoebox full of history to further legitimize your claims. An old birth certificate from a country town and a tatty black and white photo of a girl too young to be a responsible mother should convince him that any family resemblance is just a coincidence. And if you really want to teach him a lesson, just tell him that you've taken the liberty of tracking down his real parents for him, and they will be here to pick him up soon. Now, just get 2 of your friends and dress them as a teenager's worst parental nightmare and send him on his way.
You were going to live with them now, and you won't be needing that where you're going.
It'll only take a buggy ride around the block for him to realize that life with you isn't so bad after all. And you've taught him that when it comes to emotional blackmail, compared to you, he is a complete novice. This is Dr. Rudy asking you to remember me in your acceptance speech for Parent of the Year. Bye now. How's it? Dr. Rudy here. I get a lot of letters asking me what's the best way to break up with a woman. Well, there are several schools of thought. Some say you owe it to her to do it face to face. Some say you should let her down gently. Whereas I say, bugger that. Think of yourself. The number one thing you need to consider before breaking up is to protect your property. You need to get all of your things out of her place and get her key to your place before she gets wind of your intentions. Then do the actual breaking up in her home. That way, if she becomes violently angry, anything she smashes will be hers. Now, it's also a good idea to do it face to face so there are no misunderstandings. How's it, darling? Fine, and you? Are you on your way home? Good. See you soon. Bye now. Now, you don't want her to think she has a chance of winning you back. She'll only start stalking you. So you really have to spell it out for her. Now, I've invited a friend over to help me do just that.
Oh.
Because the best way to let your girlfriend know how you feel is to wait until she's due home one day, then let her catch you having sex with another woman.
Rudy, I'm home.
Trust me, this is the only way to make sure she gets the message loud and clear. I've met someone else. It's not you, it's me.
Get out! Get out!
And that's all there is to it. follow my instructions and trust me, she'll never want to see you again.
You're a pig! I never want to see you again.
Two birds with one stone. I'm on form today. Look at this. Most people think this is a terrible act of wanton destruction of our great Australian real estate heritage perpetuated by a few mentally disturbed young men. But even this cloud of smoke has a silver lining. Research into the psychosexual motivations of the average Aussie pyromaniac have produced exciting medical breakthroughs in the treatment of impotence. That's right, men, impotence. Now you don't need to spend money on expensive pills, pumps or prostitutes. All you have to do is start a fire of your own. You see, nothing brings on a rush of blood quite like being responsible for the devastation, drama and media attention of a good bushfire. It means men with small, useless penises now can have something they can be proud of, and once the wind picks up, so will you, knowing that these things can sometimes burn for days. Now, this is an impotence treatment that's 100% effective and 100% natural. As we all know, fire is how the Australian landscape regenerates itself, burning away the old, decaying and ugly and replacing it with the new and more beautiful. Take this for example. This was a typical family home, an unbelievable eyesore from the 70s. But thanks to the fire, it has been burnt to the ground to make way for modern and vastly improved accommodation. And you'd have reduced the number of native pests that are likely to jump out in front of your car at night. Yes, this clean cull has made the road safer for all Australians, and that's something to be proud of. So ladies, if your man comes home smelling of smoke and soiled with soot, you'll know that his little fire hose is now a fire chief, and he'll be ready to fan the flames of your desire. So men, if you suffer from being a bit of a softcock, why not light a bushfire? Pana.
I'm so bored.
These days, children are far too reliant on expensive toys and computer games to keep themselves entertained. As a result, you parents end up spending more money every birthday and Christmas on presents that you hope will keep kids like Hosni here amused. So next birthday, why don't you try giving them the gift that keeps on giving? Give them their imagination. Sure enough, all children should use their imagination, only most haven't found it. And here's how you can give it to them. Simply take a large empty box and gift wrap it for the special day. Children love unwrapping presents, and the bigger the better. And their imagination will get going just by trying to guess what's inside. Happy birthday, Hosni.
Wow, is it a train set?
Yes, it is. It's a PlayStation as well.
Wow, a train set and a PlayStation.
It's anything you want it to be. It's your imagination. Let it run wild and you can have or do anything you like.
But there's nothing in here.
There's something marvelous in there. You just don't know how to use it yet. Keep trying. And there you have it. Hours of fun, and it's practically free, and it doesn't need batteries. He may not thank me for it now, but when he's 35, overweight and balding, he'll still be able to look in the mirror and see only a matinee idol looking back. And that's a great gift. Bye now. How's it? Dr. Rudy here. You know, many of you young male viewers have consulted me, all with the same problem. You feel there is a distinct possibility that you are gay. But you will not be completely convinced of this until you experience the physical nature of homosexuality. The problem is, if you have homosexual sex and find out you are straight, you will have outed yourself for no good reason at all. But don't worry about curious boys. All you need to do is test the waters in a covert way. And this is easy to do, especially if you and your friends are into chroming. All you have to do is get hold of a can of water-based paint. Then the next time you and your friends indulge in some inhalant use, you use this. That way, when everyone else is passed out, you will still be conscious and can have your way with the aerosol addict of your choice. Then if you discover that homosexuality isn't for you, well, no one will ever know that you once had a crack at it. If, however, you find that gay sex is for you, just inhale a can of the real stuff and join your comatose canoodler in a post-coital catnap. So there you go, boys. Give that a go. A clandestine way to find out if you're gay. Bye now.
They can't tell, but like other people would probably tell them, like, you know, your hand movements are suggesting that you're gay, or the way you talk, it's like a stereotypical thing.
I suppose some of them you can't tell, and the only really way to test them is like just start pushing up on them and see how they react.
There's nothing like a fine glass of wine. Of course, most people have no idea what a fine wine is because they're heathens, which is why it is always so painful having to share good wine when you go to a dinner party. So tonight, I'm going to show you how to bypass that dilemma. All you have to do is go to the bottle shop and purchase the cheapest bottle of cooking sherry. Then, run a sink full of hot water and soak off the label. Now, you don't want to rush it and tear the label, so take your time. And while you're waiting for the glue to dissolve, ring your hostess. How's it? Yes, it's Dr. Rudy here. I was just wondering what you are serving tonight, so I know what wine to bring. Okay. See you at 8 then. Bye now. Beef stroganoff. Well, Grange Hermitage should be perfect. Now, our sherry label should be ready. Simply stick it over our lovely bottle of wine.
Rudy, hello.
I bought some wine.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you'll probably get to have that all yourself. I don't think anyone else will drink sherry tonight.
Really? What a shame. Bye now. How's it? Dr. Rudy here. Are you worried about your teenage daughter having sex? The last thing you need is for your baby to have a baby. But unfortunately, it's a fact of nature. Once she bleeds, she breeds. So when your little girl hits puberty, you're going to have to start thinking about sex prevention strategies. You could show her how to use a condom. But condoms are only effective 99% of the time. Even less if that randy little prick refuses to wear one. No, it isn't enough to fill your daughter's head with idealistic theories, give her a handful of condoms and let her make decisions for herself. If you want her to stay sterile, it's up to you to stop the boys from making a move. You need to make your daughter unattractive to the opposite sex. And the best way to do that is to get her fat. Get her to eat lots of fatty foods and carbohydrates. The aim is to keep her weighing 85 kilos from the ages of 12 to 21. That way, she'll stay as pure as the driven snow. Sure, you may find her disgusting to look at yourself, but it's better to have a fatty bombard in the family than a filthy slut. Then when she comes of age, you can starve her down and marry her off. It's becoming an increasing problem for fit, attractive, heterosexual men like you and me. The constant, unsolicited ogling of your physique by gay men. It is happening with increasing regularity and in increasingly surprising locations. Even a heterosexual retreat like this gymnasium. Such objectification demeans us and can pose questions that we'd rather not ponder. You may be surprised to know that not all of us are so thrilled at being a gay icon. But don't worry, there is a way to enjoy freedom from the scrutiny with dignity. Just borrow an idea from another race of men that can't control themselves. Simply cover the contours of your arousing physique in a loose-fitting, light and breezy chador. Relatively cheap and in surplus supply, thanks to the recent downsizing of the Afghani market. Now you can enjoy being out for a workout in total comfort. And the unrestricted nature of your new attire means it's perfect for all those physical occasions where you feel on display. On the football field, on a bike, and it's perfect if you are a lifesaver, especially on a Sydney beach. So there you have it, men. Don't put up with gratuitous gag gaping. Take away the temptation and feel the freedom only your forefathers could have known. Bye now.
If the men do it, then everyone would be covered up and no one really know how they look like or what their true colours are.
It'd be awful. You'd live in a society where it didn't really matter what looks depended on, and coming from a fashion industry, that's quite important.
I don't think it would become a fashion unless, like, for really ugly people who don't want to be seen or really shy or something, maybe.
Like walking around like that in society, it's just not on.
You know, if the women have to wear them, the men should wear them. Why not?
At least it'll be a surprise, you know?
Yeah.
When they take it off.
I don't know what kind of surprise you're talking about.
You know, a very important part of a man's health is his self-esteem. And self-esteem is always tested in your friendships, because your friends are the ones who will always try to put you down in a social situation. It's a tribal thing. Every social group has an unspoken pecking order, and life is a competition to see who is the alpha male. So whether you are talking about the Australian cricket team or what's happening in the Middle East, winning an argument can be terribly important for your self-esteem. So what do? Well, don't waste your time with schoolboy debating tricks or actually knowing what you are talking about. There is a much quicker and more enjoyable way to make sure you will win any argument. All you have to do is sleep with all your friends' wives.
To do bad things, feign a lot. Ergo, Jerry Adams.
There is no more powerful comeback to a devastatingly well-argued demolition of your views on the problems in Northern Ireland than to say...
Ergo yourself, and that's why you're completely wrong.
Oh yeah? Well, I slept with your wife, and she loved it. Of course, you may not even have to use this debating weapon of mass destruction. Just knowing that the person you're arguing with doesn't have a clue that you've balked his wife will give you a very powerful feeling of superiority, sure to boost your self-esteem. But beware, there is a remote possibility that they may come back with the old, "Oh yeah? Well, I've slept with yours." So to make sure of your ground, make sure also that you slept with their daughter, or at least give them a good tongue pash.
Why didn't somebody tell me about this? Excuse me?
I believe me!
Hey! No, you come back here!
And that's all there is to it, men. A guaranteed and fun way to boost your self-esteem. Bye now. Gin, this quiche is a triumph.